Played hard. We did an awful lot of things that were good. We didn't win the game, so that's kind of been the way this has gone. We didn't stop them on third down, but offensively, we rushed for 200 yards. We were 54% on third down ourselves. Had a lot of numbers. About to go into the end zone for a score that would give us a two-score lead, and we throw a pick that not only is an interception, but it ends up in the other end zone. So the frustration continues. Everybody's, you got your questions prepared for what direction I'm going in. I'm not going to answer anything about that. The season just ended. There'll be time for that. We'll get into that discussion. But again, we practiced well. We prepared well. I don't think the players were distracted about all that was going on in the outside world. They came in. We wanted to win. We talked about what our goals were, how it was going to be accomplished, et cetera, et cetera. And we got a couple of turnovers. We made the one major mistake, and they put the ball in the end zone off of it. And that, unfortunately, leaves us with, exactly the way the game ended. So. Third and seven, take the points, 4.5 minutes in the game, kick the ball off, stop them, come on back down, score a touchdown and win the game. That's exactly what it was. And, I would do it again if I knew the outcome was going to be of the game. Of course I wouldn't. So we punted the ball earlier a couple of times when it was 4th and 2 or whatever, and started them out inside the 5, which we statistically had studied and found that if you forced them to start inside their own 10-yard line, they had 16 drives. They had given the ball. They had turned the ball over twice, punted 11 times, scored twice. So the percentages were with us going into the game to try to put them back in a poor field position. We created that. They moved the ball out of there, unfortunately, but we did get a turnover based on one of those situations, a fumble. Yeah, we going in, we had 2 safeties. We had 6 corners. 2 of those people were ready to go back in and play at safety if they had to, and of course they both ended up, and McBride got hurt, and then Wade had to go back. Hosley went to the nickel. We were prepared for it. We didn't want it to happen. With 2 safeties, we wanted the 2 safeties to be on the field. At the end of the game, Meriwether was hurt, and of course even Landon was limping around. So, but they did the job that they had to do. Now, probably the one change right after McBride was hurt, didn't get communicated real well. The coverage in the end zone, we gave up a touchdown we didn't have to give up right there, at least on that play. So. No, I'm going to give myself a little bit of time. I'm sure we'll talk with ownership, and then we'll go from there. The frustration. Well, I can tell you what went wrong with going into this game, 5 games that ended up in the final 30 seconds, either one way or the other, and this is probably the exact same circumstance. So finishing has been very difficult for this team. And you see it here. They line up, they throw the ball when the game is on the line. They didn't even go into a normal 4-minute mode and run the ball. They made first downs getting the ball in the hands of the tight ends, et cetera, et cetera. And, had we been able to stop them earlier, we would have had more time on the clock, even though my timeouts were probably going to be gone. But finishing the game has been an issue all year for us, and we've talked about it, we've worked on it. I've switched the 2-minute drills around in practice to try to make it more of an emphasis, and we're still working on it. No, you can save that all stuff. No, they are. Well, what happens is that fortunately we play at home, and the family gets together not on Christmas because people have to visit relatives and in-laws and things like that, and so this is the weekend that our group collects. But it was really neat to see the kids are all dressed up in a sweatshirt with a name on the back, and I don't know, it was neat.
Did you know they were making those?
I didn't know the sweatshirts were. I knew everybody was coming to the game, but
First half, you were down 21-19 with a touchdown. Seemed over 2 points.
no, it's too early. Too early for me. Yeah. Have you followed me at all? It's too early for me.
Talk about the last minute, has any of this wounded you as opposed to make you think, I could have done something different or, question yourself?
No. No.
The conversation would be,
No. If I could play, I would play, but I can't play. I mean,
The conversation with the officials when they punched the ball to you, they put 2 seconds back on, was about putting time on.
yes. Yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it. It was 1:43 when the ball hit in the end zone. Thank goodness the officials put the time 2 seconds back up there for us.
talk about the finishing, because a lot of it goes to the inability of the defense.
Well, if the defense ends up on the field at the end, yeah, but it's happened on offense as well. So,
On Thursday, you rest and want
no, I'm not answering any more questions. Thank you very much. I said that I would think about it, and I will certainly let you know.
there were reports that said they decided to step aside.
By who?
That's not true.
No one has decided anything. Where do the reports come from? Did you get initials?
I want to know.
Did you get some initials?
Anybody got anything else?
Thank you.